Hi, welcome to Perfectly Wasted. I'm your host, DullOxide. Today we're on episode 3 about anime. You can find all of my previous episodes on my YouTube channel, Drinking Wiseman, as well as my bi weekly podcast, Brew the Truth. So, I like anime. I've liked anime for a very, very long time, since I was about 11, which is approximately 20 years ago. And I have to say that as far as the best goes, there are quite a lot. I mean, I can't choose any one. If I was going to try and introduce anime to somebody new, I'd probably start out with one that I really do like, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, that has a storyline that a lot of people can get into. The art is very good. The effects inside of the fights are really fluid. Everything looks really good. You can easily get excited by it. The storyline is very easy to follow and exciting. The voice actors in the Japanese version I thought were amazing. The voice actors in the American version, I'm not really into American, dubbing. It's not really the best, but they do a good job and people love it. So even though I don't necessarily like it, a lot of people do. And I have to say that in the recent seasons of anime, the recent years for that matter, I haven't seen any really, really, really great animes that have come out. Like when I consider anime to have been at its height when I really started liking it around when I was in high school, and that was about 12 years ago now or so, when we had animes that started coming out that inspired you to do something. So, I mean, you have animes like Initial D, which made people want to start drifting, which, I mean, not everyone necessarily wanted to. And the art was a little bit different in that because it wasn't a traditional Japanese anime, but it was really cool. I liked the Eurobeat music inside of it. I still listen to it. It's great. It's probably what started me on the whole the EDM scene. Like I loved it. And then you had Hikaru no Go, which made you want to start playing Go, and you learned a lot of things through that show. It made you really feel, and that was a really great anime too. And then Prince of Tennis is another one. Make you go out and want to start playing some tennis. I guess it's just different things for different ages and stuff like that. And watching them now, you might not like them as much as when you first watched them, but I mean, there's just some of them just really stand the test of time. Hajime no Ippo is another one. It really could get you motivated to get up and start doing something for yourself. And you don't really see too many of those anymore. There was like a really big burst of them then, and now it's not so much. That being said, there are some really good current animes that have come out recently. One of which gets a lot of talk about it, Yuri on Ice, which was very enjoyable. It really was. I thought the intro was just beautifully done. It looked fantastic, and the story was good. I really enjoyed it. There was different plot aspects that were really funny and cute, and it was a really good anime. Now, there were some other animes that I like that have come out recently, and there are some that I really didn't like that came out recently. I did like No Game No Life. I thought it was an interesting twist on the pulled into a game world, with the whole shut-ins and everything like that, and how they were basically the best at all games, and they got pulled into the game world, and I really enjoyed that. I also liked Sword Art Online and how they did that. It was quite enjoyable, and the story was really in depth. They thought of a lot of different aspects of it, and even if there are plot holes, you can kind of get over them. Besides those, the current animes that I've seen that I really didn't get why people liked were things like Seven Deadly Sin. I get that it was not a traditional anime, in the sense that it was not necessarily from Japan over, but it was okay. It was kind of like a little bit too comedic for me, so I really didn't like it that much. A couple other animes like High School Girls and things like that, I wasn't really all about. Lucky Star, which is not as recent but still relevant, was kind of like wacky. I didn't quite get it. So, I mean, there are some animes that maybe it's just I'm not who they're trying to hit as the audience for it, but it just really wasn't as good for me. And I mean, then you have some other animes that are just fantastic that really you could suggest to people that, let's say you want something dark, you watch, Death Note or something to that effect. And Death Note is one of those examples of where you have this darker character who is the main character, and it just really was awesome. It was amazing the way that he did things, like at the level that he did it. It just was really, really cool, and it got you really into it. But then I feel like in the current seasons or the last few seasons, we've been lacking something similar to that. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of video game type animes, which I guess is relevant because with VR and things like that coming in, it can really touch you at home. And then you have a lot of slice of life animes, some of which are really, really great, which, brings me to my next thing, which is the enjoyment of anime. So really, I've only watched like one anime ever that I just got through like 6 episodes, which I'll give anything 6 episodes. Anything 6 episodes. And I just could not get to like it. And that was Final Fantasy Unlimited. It just didn't have enough character development in the first 6 episodes. And I feel like you have to give something, especially if it's like a 12 episode season or a 24 episode season, or if it's even more than that and it's not done yet, you have to give it more time. So like I'll give anything 6 episodes. All right, no matter what, 6 episodes. But this just was not watchable to me. I couldn't get into it. And maybe one of you could tell me why I should get into it again and why I should watch it, but I just couldn't. I mean, when there are so many better animes out there that you could be watching, like that make you just feel so much more. Like My Lie in April. That just hits you so hard, and it's just so good. And maybe you didn't like My Lie in April, then how about The Flower We Saw That Day on Hana? That fantastic. The storyline was a little bit supernatural, a little bit weird, not quite as much slice of life, and it just made you feel so much that if you just I don't know, if you didn't cry during that, maybe you just don't have feelings. It just really was very sad and emotional. And that, you don't want something that's so sad, then maybe you watch something that's kind of ridiculous, like Kill a Kill, and I really didn't enjoy Kill a Kill so much, but it was just everyone seems to like it, so it was obviously really great. And then you have like shows like Naruto that have run forever and One Piece that have run forever that people really enjoy because they're shonen, and shonen obviously sells for a multitude of reasons, and it's quite enjoyable. But then you have shows that get under recognized that should have just as big of a following, like Berserk, for instance. Great. It's such a good manga. It is spectacular. The very first anime of Berserk was really good. I'm not really a big fan of this whole 3D thing that they're doing, but I still watch it. And then you have other animes that have been long running that just kind of have fallen off. Detective Conan, kind of, good, bad, wacky, silly, interesting. It's kind of like all over the place. And there's a lot of different animes that are out there right now to choose from. So realistically, you don't necessarily have to go in on that. So I am looking for some new animes. If there's anything in the new season, I only watch stuff that's completed. So if it's been completed, I'll download it all and I'll watch it, and I'll be able to build an opinion on it. But like I said, as of recently, most of the suggested animes to me have not been fantastic, with a few exceptions of things that I really did enjoy. But that being said, I feel like anime is just going to grow continuously. It's going to become this giant monster, and eventually we're going to be seeing more animated movies inside of theaters compared to like superhero movies. So it's something really to look forward to. So overall, that's how I feel about anime. And if you have any suggestions, anything else that you'd want to see, anything for future shows, any animes to suggest to me or mangas, by all means, please post, comment, like, share. And thanks again. That was 10 minutes perfectly wasted.